Welcome guys, welcome. We're going to be back with Distant Worlds 2 for Worldly Wednesday. My name is DasTactic, welcome to the channel, and we're going to do something. Actually, I forgot to do it last time. I sort of started a new game, but we're going to start it again. Don't know who I'll play as. Actually, let's have a look and see what the setup was from last time. 700 stars, yeah, that's okay. Go back into here. I just want to have a look to see what we ended up doing. Now, this is not what we want, I don't think. Why did I do pre-warp? Yeah, this is all a bit sedate. What I'm thinking of doing is playing another 20-year or war sort of start. Like basically, if someone declares war on us, we start at that point. Or we just let it go for 20 years. But 20 years playing in pre-warp is a bit too much. If we go to young, let's go to young level 1. Let's start level 1 this time. Go unstable. Difficulty will be hard. This will actually impact the empire rates for various in-game factors, so the colony income, corruption, etc. So we'll go that way. Hostile races will go some more, so we'll have some of them. We won't be completely surrounded this time. Research speed will be normal. No, I'll go slow. No, I'm going. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard one actually. I'll go slow. Only next projects visible, and go random research paths. Right, allow tech training is going to be on. Okay, so it looks like it has it reset. The game did update a week or so back, like the beta. Pirates will just be, I'll go with many. I'll keep them normal, just so that they're not too much in the way. I'll keep all that on default. So it's actually gone back to defaults in here. I wonder why. Normal. 100%. I like to halve the colonization range limit just so it forces you to be a bit more aggressive. Race is random. I'll start off random and then we'll sort of pick and choose depending on who we actually get. The play mood. Oh, here we go. This is different. So play as a standard empire, moving out from your home world to establish new colonies, explore new star systems to find resources and other valuable locations. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What's these others? Disabled. Oh, okay. So this will be the pirates. So we're starting to see things. We're seeing new stuff. I knew that was like this is all a bit different. Refugee fleet would be an interesting one. This one here. Note this is an advanced to start for experienced players who are comfortable with manual play. There are no colonies. Instead, you start with a small fleet of ships, including a few military ships and fuel tankers. We haven't played this start for a long time. In fact, I don't think I've ever recorded it. Yeah, so we've got future expansions. That's going to be interesting, actually. So, refugee fleet. I don't know. I don't know whether to play it this way or not. That would actually mean we don't start with a 20-year gap. We have to get going pretty much right away. And then we have to build up and defend and do all sorts of stuff. I might play that way. Let's just go that way. We'll start a new way that way. Next, refugee starting situation. So we now get to start to choose how we play. Fleet flag. Just leave that on random as well. So what we have is fleet composition. Basic is you end up with 2 frigates, 2 destroyers. This is why I'm thinking we could play it this way. 1 fuel tanker, 1 colony ship, 2 exploration ships, 2 passenger ships, 1 mining ship and 3 small freighters. The military one is we end up with 2 frigates, 2 destroyers and a cruiser. A troop transport, a fuel tanker, 1 colony ship, 2 exploration, 2 passenger, 1 mining, 3 freighter. So what's the difference there? Still 1, so that we get a troop transport and a cruiser. Everything else down the bottom there is correct. So that's just going to give us a little bit of a boost along. Exploration, we end up with 2 frigates, 2 destroyers, 1 fuel tanker, 2 colony ships, 4 explorer ships, 3 passenger ships. So it's mainly the 2 extra explorers. Or resources, this one we end up with 2 medium freighters, 4 small freighters, 2 mining ships, and then the rest of them. I think we'll have to play as military. Now we've got the fleet tech level. Select the tech level for your refugee fleet. Higher techs give you better hyperdrive scanners. Yeah, I'll definitely. I think I'll start on level 2 just because it's going to be difficult, and I'll go deep core. So we'll go deep core in this case. They have changed recently. Like it used to be sort of a bit of a random, like they would sort of shoehorn you in wherever it would fit. Back in the up until recently, but they've now tried to make it honour where you actually now request to go. So we'll just go that way. So we'll just go next to other empires. 12 of them will be fine. That's about right, I think, for this sort of size map. I could even go a bit higher. Do I want to? 12. No, I'll just leave it on 12, I think. Now the victory threshold, I had it on 60% last time. I'll keep it on 70%. We almost sort of survived last time. I'm going to turn off the Shaktiri storyline because of the start that we've got. So I'll keep that one off. I know that people have been asking me to sort of play with on, but I'm just thinking we leave that off for now. Or we put it on to very late. Maybe we do very late. We'll do it that way. Race-specific story events are off. I don't like them. This is sort of like, it gives you like missions that then sort of track through linearly, which is not great. And then the colony events, these are disasters and random plagues. I'm going to turn them off as well. They've sort of been a little bit broken. I don't know if they've been fixed or not, but let's just leave them off. No limits in through there. So this is all a complete reset, actually, with what we actually have. Start the game. See who we end up with, and then depending on who we start off with, I possibly will restart. I'm just going to get myself a drink of water as well. Xenox. Do we want to play as a Xenox? I don't know. I do not know. It says our home colony is an ice tundra world. It doesn't seem right. This is not a refugee start. No, something's gone a bit haywire here. Just pause that for a second. Just, yeah, I don't know why that would be, why it would start us off in there with a refugee start. And we don't actually have any ships either. So that seems strange. I'll start again. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I am playing with the experimental version. Hi Starmage, and saying, ever played Sins of a Solar Empire 2? One race that was a similar start when they jump into a system and have to colonize a planet first. Yes, that's a pretty good, cool game actually. I do enjoy that. With that game, but haven't played it for a little while. I really like the user experience, the way that they've actually done Sins of a Solar Empire 2. Like just with the, it's really quite cool the way they've done it. Actually, Broken Arrow has got a similar sort of feel to it. When you play that as well, like it sort of things just sort of work, which is great. But they latch on to different ships and things. Well, that's weird. I don't know what's happened there. I'm just going to exit back to the main menu. We'll start again. Excuse me. Okay, I'll start a new game. Just keep all this stuff going. Yeah, that's all okay. So I've remembered all of that. Mini, normal, yeah, much colonization. Normal, yeah, that's okay as well. Random. I did go refugee fleet. I don't know why it's doing that. Why it didn't actually honour that. Maybe I have to choose an actual race. And it's remembered all of this as well, except for the. It never remembers where you went in the in your start here. I'll try it one more time. It's remembering all of those things as well. This is version 1.3.1 of the game. I might have to just go back and play a standard old faction. Gizareans, they're always very, very strong. Now, this is not working again. Very strange. Why is it doing this? This is really, really quite strange. I'll have to start again. We'll have to start again because we have yeah, this is actually just a low-level start. Unless I'm missing something here. Like if I unpause just for a little while, what happens? Hegemony, just missed that one. So we get all of the different bits and pieces we get from that. Look, we might have to go back to a standard ship. Sorry, standard game, I think. So I won't start here because we're going to be too far behind everybody else. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So Valana's saying it does a mention job of that now, I feel. Yeah, Starmage saying that the two black boxes in play mode will be the pirate modes, then didn't have Distant Worlds 1, then 2 pirate modes. I can't think of the second one. I was thinking of that as well. I'm sure one of them is at least pirates, because that's what they're working on, but yeah, I don't know what the second box is, so it's interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I just let it go unpaused, but you're not supposed to start off with any of this. What about we start as... I'll try choosing Gizareans. Just go back to the main menu again and just see if I can actually get it going with that one. So start a new game, and this time I'll actually choose the Gizareans. So that's all okay. Gizareans this time. Go refugee fleet. I'll just flesh these things out and see if it actually does work. It's a Gizarean flag. Military level 2, yep, that's all okay. So we'll just go next, other empires. Actually, we'll just go into the deep core. Let's see how we go. I wonder if it's the Shakturi events that are somehow stopping us from doing it. If this doesn't work, what I'll do is I'll go back and set up a standard game. Ooh, we've got ourselves a spammer. Ban. Farewell. There we are. No, it's not working. I don't know what's going on here. Well, that doesn't look good. Yeah, so we'll start again. Start again. This is like a hard start for us if we did sort of play this one. But we will play as the Gizareans. I quite like the idea of doing that. So we'll exit out to the main menu yet again. I always worry about it leaving residue. I might even go out to desktop actually. Let's just exit and then come back in again. It does load in pretty quickly. Okay, so Valanis is saying refugee status broken in 1.3.1. Yeah, okay, we'll go that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the 20 years or war. It's going to be the rule set that we have for ourselves. I'll go to anywhere in the galaxy, just so that we can sort of no, I'll just stick in the core. Why not? So that's the rule we have for ourselves. We're going to start a new game. 700 stars, yeah, normal nebula density I think will be okay. 6x6 sectors, so fairly tight, and just a spiral galaxy. So there's going to be sort of like nebula arms rolling out through the galaxy. The rest of the galaxy is going to be young, level 1, unstable, hard, some more hostile races near us. Research speed will be slow. We'll leave all that on. Allow tech trading is on. Threats, many pirates, but only normal strength, so not going to be overly powerful. Colony prevalence will be normal. Independent colonies normal. Colony influence range 100, and then 150 M colonization. So I've halved that one. Everything else is default. Our race is Gizarean. I'll talk about them when we get into the game. We're going to go standard empire. So yeah, that is broken now by the sounds of things. All right, so let's go next. So now we choose. I'm going to be going to cell hegemony is our special one. So we'll actually keep this one going as we'll keep that one. We've got a few that we can choose from: republic, feudalism, or cell hegemony. But cell hegemony is the preferred one for the Gizareans. If I delete that one, what's the? Actually, I'll just leave it blank, and then they can then come and just pick any old thing. Starting situation. So homeworld will be random. The home system will be trying. Should we do trying? If I keep it on normal, then we can sort of do what we have to do. We want to still have a young start at tech level 1, say same as everybody else. Is trying going to be too hard? No, of course not. Go deep core as well. So we'll just go this way. This will give us a couple of different locations. It's going to be hard for the AI to be able to play this way, but let's just see how they go. Next will be other empires. 12, that's going to be fine. Victory conditions, blah, blah, blah. I will leave the Return of the Shakhtari storyline on. We'll start the game. And so what we're going to be doing is literally, it's going to be hands off for the first 20 years, unless there's a war declared against us. And then we inherit whatever it is that they've done. Hi Sci-Fi Snob, how are you going? So this is a fun way to play the game, actually. Like, it's quite random, quite different. Okay, Gizareans, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Is Soon Epazi is our leader. Just get started. So we have a bit of an empire going. When you choose the like tech level, like tech level 1 or above, you at least sort of start off with different things in through here. So I'm not going to change anything at all, except I'm going to come back into here, and we have a few things we have to set up to run this one properly. I'm just going to go to the policy settings and just going to go to advisors and automation. I'm just going to go into rule in absence full. Now I won't change all the other things. There's a few things you can actually change. If you wanted to leave it running overnight and just see what the AI gets up to, you can at least do that one there where everything is set then to automation, which is what we're going to sort of do in the game. But you then need to come back across and I'll just go back out from that, press escape, and if we then go to settings, you then need to sort of also come down and just tell it to not bother you with a few of these things somewhere in here. God, where is it? Am I thinking have we got it wrong here? Maybe it's not in here. Oh, suppress pop-up messages, yes. So when turned on, prevents many types of blocking pop-up messages from appearing. Note that to completely prevent blocking messages, you'll also need to use the following exploration settings in the Empire policy. So investigate ruins should be set to investigate no report. Investigate abandoned ships should be investigate no report. So I will go yes here and disable automatic error reporting. So disables, yeah, I won't worry about that one through there. I'll just leave that one off. So the other thing it is sort of telling us to do is to go back into the advisors and automation, and in this case it's saying that when we've got investigate ruins, change that to never investigate with no report, and investigate no report. That way they can sort of do everything. Like this way, it's completely hands off, so we don't do anything at all. So what we'll do is we're just going to go and unpause the game and set it to super fast 8 times. We should have a bit of a look to see where we are. So we just inherit whatever we inherit. We don't know what we're going to get here. Now, what was I going to do? There's something else I was going to grab, but I forget what it was. So they're building escorts and frigates, and so we've got no control over this. So it was 2754 was the start. So we want to stop at 2774. Now that should be not. Why is this actually still popping up? shouldn't be popping up like that. Absence, it's all that one. Yep, they're rating our bases and stuff. So we're still in the first year. And so it's only if there's a war declared that we then go ahead and get aggressive. Yeah, it's pausing with those. I'm not sure why. Again, that looks like it may be a bit broken as well. So far, Snob's saying, Des, do you have a list somewhere of the best, your favourite DLCs of your various games? I don't actually know. It's still going, that's okay. We've got different discoveries coming through. Actually, where are we in the game? Let's go and turn on the nebulas, just so we can sort of see them, like so you can see that there's a block through there. Yeah, actually everything has reset. Long-range scanners, we're not going to have those just yet. Combat overlays are off. Yep, I'll leave them off for now. So it's rattling through. Yep, so far Snub is saying it's like a box of chocolates. There we go. And Black is saying, which almost always need to be that. Hang on, I did read this one. I'm so sorry, but what generally do you play with switched to manual, and do you change it while playing? Yes, I do. I start off with basically the default, but then change all the fleet settings to. It's pausing on these pirates. Yeah, it shouldn't happen like that. Not when you've got it set like this. So it looks like when we come across new factions, we're just going to have to press start. I normally just play with defaults, change all the fleet settings to manual, and leave it like that for a length of time. As the AI starts to bother me with questions, I then either change what's happening with the entity that they're interacting with, or change it the automation. So things typically like offer gifts will sometimes go and manually change how I want to approach a different faction. And sort of just leave it doing its own thing there, or turn them off completely if they're sort of a bit annoying. So anyway, we'll just let the AI play away for a little while. Hi Tenru, how are you going? There we go, critical research breakthrough, that's good. And yeah, Black is saying, which almost always leads me to either switching my ports to have single construction yard, and me being severely slowed down by that, or spending 3 hours designing everything, including civilian. Well, I tend to only work on the let the civilian side of the game look after itself, and I just I do look after the ships. So we'll do an analysis of the ships when we finish. So the AI is literally, I'm just completely hands off. It's just doing what it's doing. I'm not even taking any note of what we're doing here or what we've got. We'll do an analysis when we get to the 20 years. I haven't come across any other factions yet. So we're looking at 2774. It's going to be the year that we take over. There's a pirate faction. We can sort of see where that one's actually now located. There is also supposed to be some story events now in the game as well for the for Slytherin's 25 years birthday celebration, which actually is on right now, I think, or starting today. So I've got a video coming out tomorrow with sort of like the history of all the Slytherin games, which was a lot of fun putting together actually. So there's a hell of a lot of games. This, of course, being one of them. So. I was either going to play this or Gladius, but I thought, I'll play Distant Worlds. I do love this game. You've got research centres under attack. It's good that we've actually got a research centre. So I'm really just relying. Now this is rivalries, power struggle between two characters. I'm not sure which one they are. I'm just going to go. I'll go with the right hand one. No, I'll go with the left hand one with whatever we do. Our spy has died at Eula, so we end up with like an event that occurs with the Gizarians. Rivalries, Empire happiness goes down a little bit. So these are sort of like a a weird sort of expansionist type insectoid group. Quamino have been encountered. Okay, so we'll dismiss that. Just find out where they're from. Okay, so Blackjaw saying, I'm currently trying the Artuk breakthrough, and while super funny with lore, I don't think you'd survive 20 years. No, I don't think so either. It would be a bit too difficult. There we go. Got the got over here as well. That's fine. That's good. So we're meeting the neighbours. Base like the pirates are raiding our bases. Only 4 years in so far. Dismiss that one. That's another group of pirates. Harkonish as well. We've got research centres under attack. So we're not going to have any real context of what's happening, but we're just going to start off with a with an interesting situation, I guess. The other thing would be interesting would be to do a an early start and let it run for even longer, and just let the whole galaxy build up. Okay, there's the Quaminos down this way, so they're obviously going to be a major enemy at some point. So as soon as there's war, we'll then sort of go through and get things done, and then figure out what the best way forward. Money situation is actually okay. 3 colonies we can see at the top there. We'll just let it continue on. Yeah, under attack by something. Just saying, not even speaking of the enemies within, yeah, the new racial random chance of ships just to blow. Yeah, I don't know if I like that mechanic. I mean, it's sort of funny with the Artuks, but yeah, it's not a great one. It looks like we've got a couple of fleets. Second invasion fleet. Wow, they've actually got an invasion fleet built. That's a bit premature, I think. We can't even sort of see any independent colonies there. All right, we're coming up on what's that? 6 years now. A lot happens in the game. Yeah, there goes the invasion fleet. I don't know where they're heading off to. We're attacking a ship by the looks of things. So we'll have to do a lot of correcting when we take over. Another group of pirates. Another admiral. Stomach saying, how do you feel about AI ship designs? Often it seems like they do something like one laser, one torpedo, 1 point defense, where the player might just where the player just does 3 lasers. Yeah. So would you want the AI sometimes to just focus on one weapon type? And yeah, I think you can code it so that it does that one. But yeah, they seem that some of the designs are a little bit off, and some also don't come in with in the early part of the game with the defences correctly as well. I don't know if they've fixed that. Got a new pirate faction. We'll just dismiss those. So we'll find out what we inherit when we do get to this 20 years. Not even at 10 years yet. Yeah, I think I like to try to design the ships to work with each other as well. Like the the good ones that have got good point defense to then protect others that don't. But then you can make the others more powerful in other ways. So we'll mix and match when we do take over. But this is we're now getting up to what's that? 7 years in. So this is just the AI now, just doing what it does, and then we'll take over and sort of start the game itself. Okay, we're trying to steal tech, I hope. Ideally, we want the Quamino shielding. That's what we really want. So if we can get our spies out and about, that would be awesome. 2762, so we're 8 years in now. Borders pushing back and forwards in this sort of southern area of the map. It's a big galaxy. Okay, so Mad Menon saying Distant Worlds 2 Shadows Rising announced as the new Pirates expansion. They showed some cool new concept art. Oh, okay. Releasing this coming winter or summer for me, I guess. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that'd be good actually. So yeah, I saw that they had started their birthday celebrations, and yeah, I was sort of thinking, oh, I could watch that, but I think I'll watch it later on. Like I'll just when I'm upstairs, I'll just watch it on YouTube. Yeah, I'm looking forward to any changes that they do make in the game. So Predator is in saying, I previously read that the game's freighter rolls were inadequate. The game was making mistakes like sending large freighters short distances. Have they fixed the freight? The freight you don't tend to worry about. So I never concern myself. You always want to have extra freighters. It's not as if you don't want it to be going too short. Now that's interesting. These ships all just suddenly disintegrated away from... They're still saying the second invasion fleet. Oh no, it's back there again. Okay, we've got injured ships. So they're doing their own attacks and things, but we'll see what we get when we inherit. So we're saying, I hope they rework the planetary army template system. I want to set specific amounts of army types in the template instead of percentages. Oh, okay, yeah, yep. Lance is saying, yeah, agrees. But the freighters, yeah, I don't really worry about it. We can see there's a lot of freighters moving back and forwards from here for some reason. There's a lot of ships anyway, migrant ships. Find out what they're up to. We've sort of got different things happening. There's the other, what are they? They were the Ikaru group down that way. We're seeing different a resort base there, which is why there's so many migrant ships for whatever reason. Okay, we're now 10 years in, so we're halfway through the automation unless the war starts. In our last run, this is about when the first war started, but there's no one close enough to us to warrant that just yet. Almost got our hyperdrive technology, the Gyrex hyperdrive, so that will be helpful. And then we have a fair bit of resetting to do once we actually do take over. Well, it's a good way to start the game because it sort of sets like a lot of context. I've been saying I said an Artuk body pillow in this living showcase. Yeah, so Vulcan saying just join, new start today. Yes, 20-year run or war, whichever comes first. Or 21 full automation, no, completely hands off. At 8 times speed, so we miss a lot. We miss a lot of the context and the nuance of what's actually going on. And then we'll sort of see what does actually come. We've still only got the 3 colonies, so they haven't been settling anywhere else. They haven't had a real lot of money. The money has been sort of between 60 and 100,000. We've now got a hard border here. Just saying did you play a Max Mechanized Assault and Exploration? It's an old game, but I think it's there is still nothing on the market. Yeah, I agree with you with that one, Predator. It's actually a game that I loved. There was two of them that came out, and they were both a bit broken. Like they didn't really. There was a lot of problems, but God, they were good games. And I always hoped that they would build a Max 3 because it was such a good game. Like it was really, really cool. I used to play that an awful lot. Very, very old now, and but yeah, a remake of that would be just incredible. It was very, very pure mechanics, like real wargaming types of stuff, but with sort of 3D elements and things, and yes, preset maps. There weren't random maps, but yeah, I played that game very, very fondly for a large period of time. I absolutely loved it. So Falcon's saying bad dudes around here. Yes, there should be. Well, we're playing as the Gizarians, which makes us the bad guy. So we've got the Quaminos, the Ikaru. They will no doubt be the ones we go to war with. Last thing actually broke my private economy with tourism in the last game. Oh, yeah, some just saying Max games were interesting back ages ago. One had fuel and ammo deliveries in factories, and the other one had some weird real-time turn-based mode. I can't remember that, but I just remember thinking it was just such a pure game. Like I absolutely loved it. That was wargaming.net, I think, was the company that made it, and that didn't they then? Is that the game that then? Is that the company that then went on and made World of Tanks or something? I think I can't remember if it was or not, but anyway, it was. Yeah, I love that game. Flana's saying, yeah, Max was a neat game. I did see it somewhere just recently, but then I'm thinking, I don't want to. I wouldn't be wanting to play it again at this stage. There we go. Got our hyperdrives now. Okay, so we are actually giving gifts. Why are we doing that? Beta detection, territory map for the Quaminos. Alright, so we're getting some information down that way. Still need 3 colonies. Yep, so we've got the hyperdrive. What are we doing now? Interlaced armour. This is hex armour for our ships. Only 15 years to go on that one. Yeah, we need to steal their shield generators. That would be ideal. They've got the best shielding in the game. So what we need to do is find things with shield bypass for when we do sort of come back into it. So they're going to be our main enemy. They're a fair distance away from us. We can sort of see through there. Like even in the scale of the game, it's they're not real close, which does give us everything we need to look at over through here. We're still what are we now? We're now 14 years in. Different discoveries of different there we go, so we're finding scenery back in through that other location. No one seems to be in this location. There's a ruin there which could give different benefits. So Valana saying love that series as well. It had the modular units and tunneling too, right? Yeah, I can't remember the tunneling, but it yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, the Earth Number series were also pretty cool back then. I think one had like 3 different factions, tank-based, mech-based, and some cell-dividing aliens or so. Yeah, I can't recall. Oh, okay, Valana saying my private economy went into millions in debt, visiting an 80% scenery location with a mega park. So, yeah, so Predator saying other games is Fallen Haven, kind of similar to Max a little. Also from 97, 98. I don't know that one. I'm not familiar with that game. But yeah, Max I loved. Absolutely loved it. Now we've got... God, we keep on playing them. Why are we playing the Ikarus? The Ikarus, we don't even know where they are. They're out here somewhere. They're not a threat. Don't pay them. This is the stuff we have to fix when we get in. When we take over in 5 years' time. We're 15 years in now. Rivalries. Okay, power struggle. I'm just going to always just go to the left-hand side here. And again, we get another negative. So they tend to do this infighting every so often. Tennessee might also went 2 to 3 million into the red, but I never found out why. But they recoup quickly. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Now, there is supposed to be a Slytherin birthday story event. Stop paying them money. We don't need them on side. I'll show you how we fix this when we take over, but we've only got 4 years to go now, or 3.5, so we're getting close. Independent colony Gizarians encountered way back over here. That's good for us. We'll dismiss that. Yes, there's some independence there. Starting to see their area now. Start to sort of monitor things a little bit now. We don't need the territory map, we need their shielding, please. That's what we want. It's hard to break into the Quamino. They're a closed society, basically. All right, 3 years to go. Then we take over. Saying how you have the presets for ships and their weapons, etc. in the military tab of advisors. I'd love to be able to define that for each class. Yeah, it's not like it tries to honor. If you build something, it will then try to honor it with it when it does actually upgrade. But to do it on an individual class basis, you basically might as well just design the ships and just let it sort of manage it itself. Getting close to the takeover now. Okay, we've found the what is it, Teekans? So they're out this way somewhere. Well, these are all like it's only the Quamino is probably the one that I'm most concerned about. The Ikaru can be a bit of a problem, but we're going to be able to then do some different things when we do take over. So we're closing in now on the time frame. Our money situation is not great. Here we go, first contact. So we've actually found these guys out this way as well. This is the Dayuts. They should be relatively friendly with us. Yeah, we're nearly 20 years in. So this is just when we get to 2774. But I'm thinking you just set the independence automation to conquer it for all. Yeah, you could actually. That's sort of, I'll go through how we chop and change that one. But I'm really just wanting them to just do their own thing. So I don't want to get too involved in. I just want the AI to do the AI stuff, and then we'll try to fix it after that. So it takes a little while to do a full analysis of what we've got. I don't like that we've got hardly any money. 1 year to go. Galaxy News, who invaded, taken over that one. Okay, that's all right. But 1 year to go. They've taken over into here, which we not very happy about. So we've got coming up to 6 months to go. You tell Army transporters to shuffle around excess units from fast-producing planets to slower ones as needed. Not transports. They don't do population. They only do armies. All right, we're getting close. I'm just going to have to watch this now. Sorry, guys. Because we are going to get... there's 9... Once we get up to 11, or 12, I'll then just slow down the time a little bit, and we'll just sort of let it dribble into the handover period. Okay, they've wiped out the pirates. That's interesting. So they've obviously got. Right, so that's the few days to go. And we'll just stop on 2774. Here we go. Done. Right, so we're now the first 2774. So what we'll do is we'll now just go in and start to take over and see what we've inherited. So we saw there the growth of the Quamino. The Quamino are going to be our main enemy, so we're going to need to try to sort of take them over as much as we possibly can. We've got the actually let's just start at the first tab and just sort of set things up. So I'm going to go back to automation now. I'm going to go back to default. So just set up the things that I like to do by default. Then that way we're going to get like a lot of things where it's asking us suggestions that we have to then make something on. Tax rates are fine, automated. For all of the fleet formations and the attack fleet postures, defense fleet postures, fleet ship management, I want all this to be manual. Upgrade fleet templates, manual. So that's all. That's the only thing I'm going to really sort of set at the start here. Under exploration, we're going to go to prompt. So that's the default. Oops, prompt there. Just so we end up having that one done. We're then going to go back to the other settings, escape, go to settings and change the suppress pop-up messages, yes. Sorry, I had that on no, that's why. That's why. I didn't suppress them. Why did I do that? Ah, that's why. That's why all those things were popping up every so often. So that's now been fixed. All right, so we'll just press escape there and start to... Now, what have we got through here? Eliminate, yeah, so this is the Mytha Raiders eliminated by the Quaminos. So the Quaminos have sort of taken now this area here. They've just destroyed a pirate faction. There's still another pirate faction over here. Let's just go through each of the tabs and just sort of see how we're going. So in terms of the economy, we have a cash flow, a negative cash flow, which is only very, very light, which is not too much of a problem. Private cash, yeah, that's okay, nice and healthy. So that's actually fairly good. The funding levels are going to be okay as well. Maintenance, we've only got frigates and escorts at this stage. That's the only thing we actually have. We've got 14 exploration ships. We'll have a look at these in some detail. 8 construction ships is a nice healthy number. 2 fuel tankers, 2 small spaceports, 2 research stations is all we've got there. Resort bases, 3. That's all right. And then the private economy, I'm just going to let them do their own thing. Government with cell hegemony, so we actually have different bonuses coming in through this one. So we've got a luxury resource consumption rate, so modifies the rate that the colonies consume luxury resources. So I think lowered consumption rates make these luxury resources last longer. And as a result, may help to improve colony development. So it's got a negative there. That should be probably showing as green. That looks like it's actually a good thing to actually have that as a negative. Demoralizing character trait likelihood, so negative 70% there again as well. Should be a positive. So we don't have anyone that should be demoralizing. We'll have a look at those in just a minute. So we've got leader change effect, yep, disruptive. So that's not too bad when that actually happens. 30 years, actually that's what we should have done. Played the 30 years. With the new appointment. Do we do that? No, I think we'll take over now. We'll take over now. So we've got 10 years of the current leader. Bonuses. This is all all research is a problem. So we have -15 from the Gizarians, -5 from cell hegemony, which is not great. We're not going to be fantastic at espionage either. But counter-espionage is high because we're sort of like a hive mind. Yeah, so trying to find things is going to be a bit difficult there. The leader, so this is our leader in through here. Lots and lots of bonuses, which is good. And then the policy settings, yeah, which we've already just done before. Just go back to economy. We'll have a quick look at the diplomacy. So if we start here, neutral. So these are all the ones that we've come across. Yep. So there's nothing too bad with any of these. For whatever reason, this one here it's now been set to conquer. That way we won't give gifts. That's fine. I'll leave that one where that is. That should be conquer. That should be conquer. That's got the conquer there as well. I don't know if I really want that, but anyway, we'll see how that one goes and conquer there. So then we've got the pirate relations. Now we do have a protection agreement with these. These are neutral with us as well. So they're diabolical. These are very strong. Yeah, so we're paying them off. I think we'll ditch that. Lone Storm Ravagers, they're not sure where they actually are. The others don't seem to be all that strong. Let's see if I can find them. Don't even know where they are. Oh, there they are, way over here. Look, in that case, I think we ditch this one. What I tend to do is if I only, I've got a bit of a house rule that I don't pay protection agreements unless it's the same race that we're playing, and we don't actually have any here. So I'm going to speak with them, and we're going to for treaties, cancel. There we go. So they can look after themselves back over here with the Ikaru. Independent colonies. We do actually have. Now we've got this invasion strategy with the other Gizarians way back over this other side. Sorry, I'll just go back out from that one. So these are they're only neutral with us at this stage, but I would like to get hold of this through here. So I think we'll make that a bit of a something we try to sort of control, just so we can control all of this area of space. I think will be important for us. So we'll allow that one. Then we've got alliances, nothing just yet. Ambassadors, we've got 3 ambassadors. They're all waiting at Eula, which is of complete waste. We've got counter-espionage there of +2. This one here has got no skills, and this one here has got tourism income goes up, colony happiness goes down, and diplomacy goes up. So I'm going to send these off to different things. I'm going to stop them from being automated and just set them to manual, and we'll just move them off into different locations. This one here, colony happiness, from being logical, we'll actually move this one across to Circius. We'll just go across now to the various, there's Abionite is the Quamino homeworld. So we'll send that one out that way, so it can transfer to that new location. The other ones we don't actually have anything we really need to do here. Yeah, we haven't found the homeworlds of the others, so we'll just send that one out. But I'll just leave these here at this point in time. I just mainly want to get rid of this colony happiness away from the homeworld, so we'll get that one across to the others. So that's diplomacy. Then we've got spies, no mission, steal territory map. It's got very high counter to espionage. Everything else is really crappy. I'll let it do its thing. This one here's got no skills. I'll leave these all on automation. That one there is yeah, we've got a few different things in through here. What I might do is I might cancel this mission. And we'll go with the Cormino Asperian. And can we still research information? It's only fusion ignition and starfighters. Fusion ignition, that's weird. Maybe we've already stolen their shielding. I'll cancel that. I just won't assign it that way. They're not going to do anything, so just no mission. I'll leave that one where that is. And then we've got prisoners. We don't have any prisoners. Right, so that's that tab. We'll just go back across to characters. So we have our Overlord ruling from Euler 3. Ambassador now transferring out. We've got an Admiral commanding the 1st Defence Force. Another one, actually they're both in the 1st Defence Force. Both from the same ship as well. 3 of them, all from the same ship. Right, that's not great. So fusion ignition should be Nova core reactors. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll have a look and see what we can find there. We've got a scientist researching there. So only one scientist at Sigismund Station. We'll have a look at that one in just a minute. Spies we've seen before. Prisoners we don't have any, so that's okay. Colonies, we have 3 colonies. One big one, Euler 3, Euler 1 and Euler 2. So we've actually just in one system, which is actually good for defence. So we've got a smallish one in through here at Euler 2. What have we built? What have we built in through here? High fighter base, that's good. That's actually a good one for us. I'll leave that one where that is. Robotic troops, troop cloning, we'll leave that one where that is as well. Euler 1, again, should be the high fighter base. It should be on all of these. Armour barracks, troop cloning, and high fighter base, that's fine. And so we're building up our army here. Maximum population is we are pretty much over maximum population now with this one here. So that one's sort of, actually these are all fairly large. I'm just not making much money from these. So on here we can have a heat more. And Euler 2 as well. Euler 2 we're close to. Funny, I would have thought we would have been taxing them at a higher rate. 13%, what are we doing here? 29% there. I'll just leave that one to do its own thing, so I won't worry too much about what it's up to. New colonies and outposts. So we have Nitra 3. And then all the others are going to be low. So all the other locations, none of them are all that good. No colony ships, planetary facilities, we saw them just before. And no artifacts. Exploration. Ruins, we've got a few of them. So we've got a Shrine of Secundus back over through here. Looks like we've hardly got any ourselves. We've got 2 inside the area that we may be able to control. So we've got, yep, so this one here is plus 1% to all research, so location bonus. So that one we should be building a like a location there to make use of that. The pyramid back in through there as well, miles away, and then the Great Hall, which we saw that one. Actually, the one's got plus 6% shield research back in through there. Abandoned ships. There is actually one that's back over through here, and so repair and investigate this. This is a monitoring station. Now, if we do that one there, let's get rid of that message there. Monitoring station there, I'm going to actually go and repair and take over that one, because if we claim that one, we're going to then get like a long-range scanner, which will then allow us to see like a very far distance. No special locations, okay. Resources, so we don't control any polymer, but we have it close by, so why aren't we doing this? In fact, we've even got it in our home system. That's not good. That's not good. Actually, do we have it in our home system? No, we may not. Now, this is going to make this planet here even more important to us. So we definitely want to go and get Yeah, so we're missing the polymer resources to build the polymer station. So we're going to have a problem with that. So we've actually, polymer is now completely crushed us here. We have another one down through here as well. Again, can't build this because we're missing polymer. Right. So we're going to need to, hopefully they're miles away. This is actually really debilitating, having this lack of polymer here. So these become incredibly important resources for us, or locations. I quite like it because it means that we have to now make this our main priority to try to fix this one up, which means I'm not going to be able to really update my ships all that much. What else have we got? We've got emerald crystals. We've got zero source of them as well. Wow. They're miles away. So this is when you're playing on a trying start, it's not good. Other ones that are important to us, we've got one source of silicon, which is fine, back in our home system. Necros stone, we've got a source there by the looks. Mebna, we won't need that one. Carbonite, we do actually have 2 carbonites. Might have a look at these, because the carbonite, if we have a source of carbonite, where are you? There. If this one's got hidden resources, yeah, there's still unknown items present. We're up to 25, and we do actually have a, do we have actually that one there should actually have it. What have we got? Kager and carbonite. So that's a known location. Where's our actual carbonite mining? It may be in these locations. Okay, there's nothing else there. So we have a bit of carbonite there, and so there's no chance of getting polymer from that one. This one over here is another good carbonite location, but again, we don't have the polymer to go and build in that one, but that's also been fully explored. So we can't make sense of that one. So where's our other carbonite? Not sure. I'm hoping it's not too far away. Yeah, it's not ours. Yeah, the Comino are going to be an issue. It's funny, I would have thought that would have been the one that we would have. I don't think we've got one in our home system. Home system is quite barren. We've got the one there. We don't have any others over this way. Yeah, that's a shame. This one here with the unknown items present means that if we could get a mining location here, there's a chance we could get polymer from there as well. So that would be a nice one for us to try to pick up. But we do actually, I mean, the polymers we have to get out here, this is really quite important. Argon, we've got heaps. Steel, we've got heaps. Caslon, we've got heaps. So you can see the flow coming back in. Now, that then sort of leads us to, we've got mining locations, which aren't going to be helpful at all with what we've actually got. We've got the new mining locations back into here where we need to be trying to pick up. Again, we can't do anything because of the lack of polymer. The mining ships, we don't have any control over these, but they should be going after polymer. Aculon and Mebna, Caslon, Argon, Steel, Aculon. They're just not doing it, are they? Silicon. These will eventually do it. There's carbonite, so being mined. These are actual mining ships. This is all we've really got left now, is to try to make sense of these. Well, the other thing we've got is if we go back to Euler and have a look at the I'll just turn those off. The fuel tankers as well, just 2 of those. Just go and turn that off for a second. So is it Euler 3? Euler 1. Was that Euler 1 was actually our home base, I think. No, that's not it. Is that the one? Yeah, I'll just go back to my colonies again. Euler 3 is the one that we want. So I'll start there, because that should be Euler 3. Yeah, there's a star there. So this is our capital. So what are we building? Nothing. So we've already run it completely out of everything. So, and on the spaceport, building nothing really. So, so there's nothing under construction that we can then go and turn off, which makes life very, very hard. So we've inherited an absolute dog of a situation here with the polymer. But the mining ships should be, and we don't have any control over those. I am surprised that that they're not going after the polymer. Extremely strange, because what should happen, the way it should work in the game, and if they don't, then we are screwed. Like, this is actually going to be a non-game. If we go back to the resource shortages and have a look through, polymer, we've only got one polymer, so there should be like a lot of this one should be the major, like that is showing that there is a major need for polymer at this location, and I don't think we're going to find it anywhere. I mean, in fact, if we just go back into the resources again and just go back to polymer, the fact that the production, like the it's this desperate. We only got 3 tons of it, so this should be pushing it forward. I just don't know why the mining ships. It's almost like they're broken. If they don't start to come and grab polymer, and I would have thought all of them would be doing that. None of them are. That's really, really bad. I don't know what to do about that, because I've got no control now over the game. Yeah, Boland's saying, too bad we can't do special orders from friendly trading nations, so we have to rely on private sector. Yes, especially if I was controlling a maritime economy, I'd be able to then take over those mining ships and tell them exactly what to do. But I'm not, so I can't actually go and do that one. Yeah, that's a real issue. I'm almost thinking that's actually a game-ending issue, to be honest. Before we even got started, I don't know what to do about that one. So, yeah, Tuna is saying the game needs a decree mechanic that forces the private economy to focus on what you've specified. Yeah, well, see, if I was playing the game, I would have jumped on those earlier, but I don't know whether to keep on playing with that. It means we can't do anything at all. I think I'm going to have to start again, guys. Sorry. That's, and I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't use a trying system. Maybe I should just use a normal system, just so we don't end up with that problem. I think we're going to have to start again. What a shame! Damn it. That's the fact that and I don't know why the mining ships aren't targeting the one resource that we require. Yeah, so Villainous is saying trying is probably not ideal for the AI to start with. Yeah, I think so. Because yeah, it's true, actually. Let's go back and start again. Exit to main menu. Ah, what a shame. So we lost those 20 years. So we do the same start again. That's all okay. Yep, keep that one where that is. Keep that one where that is. Actually, I might go back. Let's make abundant independent colonies. Our race, Gizareans. Play mode, Standard Empire. Cell hegemony. Normal this time. Wish there were more divisions in this, the home systems. That would be good if they did. We'll just go young level 1. Alright, let's do it again. Oh, hang on. Just go back. And we'll just go back into deep core again. Next is going to be other empires. I might ramp that up to 14. And we'll keep the same victory conditions. All right, try it again. Sorry, guys. Where's your polymer mine? We don't have one. And that was the problem. We didn't actually have. Even if I had one, it would have been okay. But we had none, and the mining, for whatever reason, I don't know why the mining ships weren't targeting the polymer. That seems very, very strange. Like that's actually, yeah, that's debilitating for the for what we have. If we go to normal, we're going to have polymer in our home system. Let's just get started. So we've got a couple. Actually, let's have a look and see if this is going to be viable for us. Just before we get going. We snake through this nebula a little bit. That'll be okay. Got 2 systems out through here. Yep, that'll be okay. All right, so let's now just go ahead and just go back through to the automation again. So we'll just go and set all of that automation back up again. So we'll just go to the rule in absence, just putting everything onto that one. Go across to exploration. We'll go to investigate no report. Investigate no report. And we'll just go and press escape and settings and suppress pop-up messages. That's what we didn't do properly last time. All right, that is it. So up we go again. Unpause and 8 times speed. Gravelix is attacking us. Oh, saying you didn't apply the setting. Which setting was that? Which one was it? Escape. Settings. Oh, yeah, that's what I did a lot wrong last time. Thank you for that. New scientist has appeared, that's good. Yeah, now it's working. There's a border. Now remember, it's 20 years or war, whichever one is first. And maybe even at sort of like 5 years or so, we'll just maybe check on the on what resources we have. We should have everything we need now. Well, I was saying, oh, well, that's not ideal. The auto designer would neglect to put crew on my cruisers. Wow. Pirate factions coming up. Yeah, so we're just in a small pocket of the galaxy. I do like that you don't know what you're going to get in the game. Just have a quick look now. Let's just see. We should be fine with everything. All of these construction resources. Yep, that's all good. So that's a big difference because we started on a trying system. Kaizing crystals aren't important, so we don't need to worry about those. But we've got sources of everything else that we need. So that's all good. So everything is now sort of thumping along, which is great. So Ek is saying, I showed up a little late. Is the AI in control of the faction? Yes, but we did sort of screw it up a little bit at the start there, so we have to restart. So we're just playing as the Gizarians, allowing the AI to play for 20 years. We're only 2 years in at this stage. So we'll just let it continue on. Stone Age saying at some point I should play a round of Distant Worlds 2 and not make any mining station and see if the private sector can handle that with a ton of mining ships instead of freighters. Probably won't work well. Yeah, it's a funny one. Like, I don't know if they then look at the balance with their mining ships. Like, I had enough. When I looked at the number of mining ships, I thought, well, that's enough. I don't need any more. But they weren't mining what they had to mine. But I don't know why that's the case. That looks like a bug to me. So Bennett's predictor is saying to the 100th monkey, yeah, mining ships are set up to mine and drop their resource at the station, and then use freighters to manage your resource shortages. The shortage logic is very good on the freighters, not the mining ships. I'm not sure what you mean by that, actually. Yeah, I'm with 100th monkey there. No. Bennett's predictor is saying that you're wrong about that. Bennett's predictor. It's saying you're saying up above, mining ships require a mining station on the polymer. You know how it works? No, it's not. A mining station uses freighters. Mining ships go anywhere they like. So that's why if we don't have a mining station, the mining ships can still go to anywhere and pick up the resource. It's sort of like a fail-safe. So it's sort of that's why the mining ships are they tend to, whatever the shortage is on a planet, they'll tend to then rely heavily on that to then target that particular resource if they can find it. So they end up like often they do end up just looking for luxury resources, but essentially they're what you can then they just supplement what can happen with the actual mining stations. So they're very, very important, but they're not they don't rely on mining stations at all. They're completely separate. Yeah, Sabolin's saying, yeah, mining stations drop off at starports or planets, but not at mining stations. Yes, that's right. They just go straight to the planet. They actually look at the need of each planet, and then will work directly to that need. And same with freighters as well. Freighters will then go to the mining stations that the planet is then asking for with resources. Very cool the way it does work. Just double check that there's nothing there. That's not going to help us. Just keep on building up. This one should be, yeah, well, we're now on top of the resources, so that's actually all good. So see how we go. Yeah, so Tenor is saying priorities aren't set right then. Yes, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's that definitely was not the way it should be working. When you can see that the need on that planet was the only sort of construction resource that was required, and if they weren't even mining it, they were mining things we didn't need. So it was not good. So if we have a look at the mining ships now, if we go to resources, mining ships, they'll all go off and start to do. We've got carbonite. We've got so these here, when they're yellow like this, that means that there's a need for them. I think it's the way it sort of does work. So these are all things where there's a resource. Caslon is red, which means that there's a production shortage there, a big shortage of Caslon. So they're mining the stuff that there's a need for. So anything where there's like whether they be luxuries or other things, but you can see the mining ships are all working away on anything that's yellow or red is something that the planets are demanding very, very, and you can see they're all just moving off, doing what they do there. Boscara, okay, that's interesting. That must be the Boscara over here. That's it. That's weird that they're our neighbour. They'll still be nasty, I think, even though they're another insectoid faction. This looks right now. This looks like what we'd expect to sort of see with the yellows and reds showing the need there. Caslon is like we've got seven sources there, but it's just not really all that helpful. This is the known Caslon, but we have supplies streaming in from these other locations. Okay, we're building more frigates. More frigates and escorts this time. I think last time we had a lot more troop transports. We still may have fleets. What's that fleet over there? That's a defence force. So we're 6 years in now. Okay, the Fire Moon have been eliminated. I'm not sure who did that. It was a pirate faction. Yeah, so this is now working properly. We don't have to do anything. Yellow is oversupply, says Falcons. Are you sure? I thought that was sort of like... it's funny that they would then be doing that. Steel. Oh yeah, production oversupply. There we are. You're right, you're right. Why would it be targeting that? It should be targeting these shortages. It's strange that so many of them, I mean, it's now finding luxury resources to go and mine. Maybe it just had nothing else to do. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? So we've got the shortages there, yeah, and the oversupply there. Interesting. More frigates. This is good. I like the frigates. So we should inherit a much better situation now. Again, I love how random the game actually is with the way it sort of does this. Hi, Muzzle Paint, how are you going? Well, I'm saying, just like in Distant Worlds 1, I sometimes build stations for oversupply resources like steel and other construction resources in newly conquered regions. Yeah, well, steel you always do need. Spies died. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, we're nearly 9 years in now. You can see defence fleets moving off. We do have a second fleet. That's a powerful fleet, actually. This is better use. Nice and strong. This must be the Boscarans back out through this other side. There we go. Now we're making troop transports, which we don't really need. Now we did have abundant independent colonies. We just haven't come across any. So there should be more of them out and about somewhere. New spies appeared again. I'd like to get the long-range scanners of the Boscara if we can. So we're getting further afield now with our scout ships. All right, we're coming up to 10 years now. So we're halfway through the automation phase. So Jalil is saying you're playing fully automated. What's the idea behind it? Well, what we do is we inherit whatever we get at 20 years and see how we play. Or if there's a war declared against us, we take over at that point and try to sort of fix things up. So we're just going to be essentially sort of just muddling along until that point in time. So it's sort of what it does is it sets up problems for us to then go and solve. So rather than starting off min-maxing right from the start, we then have to fix and sort of change the balance of ships and look at the other strategies that there are to do. Like for example, the actual the Gizarians have got like some really good advantages if they play a certain way, and so we'll probably be wanting to change the overall ship designs, I would think, a lot to try to maximise their benefits. The AI won't do that. We've got the Shandar, so we have now found an independent colony back over there. And we do have a colony ship, so there is actually a colony ship here, which is now going off to colonise another world. Out this way somewhere. So our first expansion. That's it there. Colonizing Schizo. And we got good money this time. That's because we didn't start on a trying system. Yeah, so with the trying, I just wish that there was like degrees of that setting, like more so than just the really hard set ones that they've got. It'd be really nice to be able to have like almost a slider of just how little resource you want in your home system. New ambassadors appeared. Found new pirates. We're going to be sort of out of the way here a little bit once this one actually settled out this way. But that's a nice little expansion. It's a fair distance away. Yep, so it's on its way. Nothing else is good enough quality. We need it to be 20 or more. This is 25. So we're now 12 years in, new colony now founded. This will be a little bit susceptible to all sorts of different things, so that'll have to be built up. We now come across the Harkonish as well. Where did we find them? Over there. Stop doing this. Don't give money away. I don't have any control over that. Okay, we do actually have now a big fleet is now sitting back in here. We've got another defence force going off as well. So we've got a few different fleets. We've got a big invasion fleet there now as well. Actarians, that's good. That's going to be interesting because we're very, very good with our small craft, and so are they. So it's going to be sort of going to be fighters and bombers versus fighters and bombers, wherever they happen to be. Should be a border around here somewhere. Where do we find them? Not seeing it there. Oh, there it is. So that in the Boscaran space is where we actually where they were located. Yeah, back there. All right, so it looks like the threats are mainly going to be coming from that sector. Yeah, this looks like a much better start than what we had before. Yeah, Tuner is saying, I honestly think that mining ships should go for resources that are lacking in your empire. My latest playthrough, I have 106 mining ships going for oversupply. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? That doesn't make any sense. That is definitely something that's not working the way it should. Particularly in that last start, that was ridiculous. That not having any of them go for the one that we really desperately needed. The whole idea of those mining ships is to look at those resources and then act accordingly, based on the need of the planets. So Jalela saying research looks strange, a very advanced target and no other research. It's because we started at tech level 1. It means that everything's really, really slow. So we're going for the hyperdrive. It's going to be really slow until we get research stations. And so if we have a look at We don't have any new research locations. We've got research stations, just spaceports. So we are a long, long way behind in research. That's going to be a problem for us. Icarus, that's interesting. Damn, stop giving them money. We're seeing different Boscaran planets now. Okay, we're getting close now to the 20 years. What have they declared war on the Boscarans? So the Actarians and Boscarans are at war with each other. Oh, a new colony founded again. We're good at doing this. We're making good money here. Looks like the Boscarans are going to be a bit of a buffer between us and anybody else. Okay, that's 2769. So Stumage saying, isn't there usually a moon in the home system that always seems to have research bonus for research station? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know, unless we just haven't located the research bonus yet. I don't know if that's always the case. I'm not sure. But now that you mention it, I'm thinking, yeah, that probably there is usually, not for us. Who knows why? Ambassador died at Athfar 1. Where's Athfar 1? Oh, that's over here with that sort of stuff. Okay, so we've got a bit to change here, but this is a much, much cleaner start than what we had before. So 2770, we've still got, what's that, about 3 years to go. We've captured a Boscaran agent. Stomach says maybe it's the advanced territory start that changes things. That research moon is just there at the pre-warp. Oh yeah, that'd be it. That'd be it. Yeah, that'd be it. Yeah, they're also, we're giving all this money away. We shouldn't be doing this. We'll definitely be stopping that when we take over. So there's been no wars. There we go, weapons research out there. Okay, they've taken over an ocean colony there of the Actarians. The Boscarans should then become a bit more powerful, a bit bigger. It's interesting having them as a buffer state, whereas we did actually ask for some enemies nearby, but they may be further out than what we are aware of just yet. To come in. Things that we're certainly expanding well. I don't think this is going to be a terribly difficult takeover. That looks like a different colour there. Right, winding in now. go, basically. Well, I'm glad that we found that that last game was basically unplayable at that point. Yeah, this is going to stop. I'm going to be putting an end to that straight away. Right, 1 year to go. You know, cash flow has now gone backwards. Found the dayouts as well. Up there. We're getting close now. Yeah, Boscara should be medium helpful. Like we're not. If we were another Boscara faction, they'd be even better. Second fleet back out that way. Getting close. I'll just start to wind this one back fairly soon. Almost 20 years in now. And then we'll do our fixing. So we'll let it wind over till we get to 2774-0101. There it is. All right, we now start at this point. I'll just do a save game. Be fine, and then we'll just start to go through now and just do the analysis of what we need to look at. First of all, we're just going to go into settings. We're going to change that suppress no and apply. I'll click on apply this time. Then we've got the automation settings. We're just going to go across to back to default, and then go down to all of the fleet formation ones and turn them to manual, because we're going to sort of be changing those. Exploration, we're going to go to prompt there and prompt there. That then gets us with the full automation is now fixed, so that's not a problem. As we go through, money we won't worry about. Looks like we've been pretty healthy with that. The diplomacy. So we've got the Boscara, -4, -9. No one hates us really. The Dayouts are probably the one that hates us the most, but they're insectoids as well, so they should ultimately be friendly. Without knowing really what the others are. So befriend is the Boscara Legionary. I'm going to stop doing. They're dubious at this stage. I'm going to stop sending money. It really is pretty pointless, really. So. I can't see that really being something that we need to be doing all the time. So I will actually go and just change that automation setting. So if we go back through to diplomacy and then gifts, where is it? There it is, diplomacy gifts. I'm going to make that one just go to manual. The shipment base design is auto. That's fine. We'll just override what we need to. The base building, I don't want them to bother me with that. So I'll just go down to all the stuff that's required there. Ship construction is going to be manual now. Base construction will be auto. I don't need to worry about what they're doing there. I think that's about all I really need to sort of be chopping and changing at this stage. Okay, so that's going to be that one. The diplomacy, pirates. There's a fair few pirates around, and we're paying protection rackets. This one is actually Gizarians, so I'll allow them to. Where are they? These are the Savage Star Prowlers. So these are very close to our home faction. We do have a protection agreement with them. Another one back over the Bunda Bandits, which are out this way. Just press escape. And we're playing protection rackets down through here as well. I'm going to, again, they're not, I don't want to have two of them. Look, I'll keep paying off both of those, but I won't pay these off. So, offer treaties, cancel a protection agreement. And we've got the black skyjackers as well. Cancel that one as well. So we just got the house rule of only Gizareans is the only ones that will actually sort of honour with what they do. Independent colonies, we don't know of any of those anymore. That's now been suppressed by the Boscara, the one that was there. Ambassadors, we've got 3. They're all waiting at Athfar. We don't have anyone else that can do anything just yet. Espionage goes up, that's fine. We've got the, everything for those. Spies, just counterintelligence at this stage. I'll allow that to just be on auto. No prisoner. Yeah, we do have 1 prisoner, the spy, which I won't worry about. Just leave that one where that is. Overlord, the ambassadors, yep. 1 admiral, 1 general, and 1 scientist. Okay, colonies. So this is the new colonies, no colony ships. Actually, do we have anything else that's high enough? No, nothing good enough quality. So we'll just leave those where they are. And we've got now the 4, should be 5, I thought. Got these 2 new ones. We must have only started off with two colonies, I think, back in through there. But that's actually, they're sort of moving along fairly well. Good money coming in. My barracks, 2 of those. 2 high fighter bases and a troop cloning facility is okay. I'll leave that where that is. Exploration, won't worry about those. Known ruins. Back out there. Abandoned ships. Now we've got a starport back out this way. I think I'll grab that just again for the long range scanners. Let's go and repair both of those. In special locations, we don't know of any of those. Okay, mining, again, we're pretty well right now with everything, so there's no shortages with any of these, so they're all fine except for Caslon. But we do actually have a lot of Caslon supply, so we don't have to really worry about that one. The mining locations, it's okay. New mining locations, we could set, there's already a fair few being set up as well, which we won't worry about. Mining ships, again, they can just do their own thing. Fuel tankers, we've got a fair few of them actually at this point in time. So they're part of fleets. We'll have a look at the fleets in just a minute. The construction yards, got a fair few of them around the place, which is good. And mainly just at the actual, no, we've only got 2 in spaceports. Okay, that's all right. And that's okay. Construction ships, we've got a fair few of those. There we go, building a research station at Martinga 5. Where's Martinga? That was over here somewhere, I think. Martinga. Yeah, that's it there. All right, so we'll move out to that location and sort of take over those different bits and pieces. So that will be our first mining location, or first research location. We've got the build orders. We'll come back and reconstruct everything with ship designs just in a minute. Research. Only got the 2. Unfortunately, this is really quite bad. Now we have a couple of. We've got a weapons research over there as well, which we are building. And Martiga 5 is +2 to all research, which is good. The all research is the most important one, really. And then we don't have anything really else going for us. Fleets. Now we're going to look at. We're going to need to reconstruct all the different ships and look at what they do. So we'll maybe have a look and see what we have available at this point in time. If I go to fleets themselves, we've got a fair few of these. We've got one big fleet just sort of operating through here. with, wow, 4 fuel tankers, a whole lot of frigates. It's all just frigates. Alright, we'll see what's going on there. So that's one is, it doesn't have any boarding assault strength, which is actually one of the benefits we end up having. Now we've got the swarm targeting, so the bigger the fleets are, the more targeting we can then go and get. So lots of small ships is sort of the order of the day for us. These are just, we've got heavy escorts and frigates. That'll be the loadout for those. Strike force, heavy escort, frigates, invasion fleet. A lot of troop transports with good boarding assault strength in through here. So we'll fix all of these up. We don't have anything really for them to do at this stage, so we'll figure out what to do with those ships. I'm just going to go to ships not in a fleet. And there's a lot of them. They are sort of shuffling troops around. Yep, that all looks pretty good. I'll come back for that one and we'll just figure out what to do with these. Fleet templates, we'll come back to that as well. And then just civilian ships we don't need to worry about. Let's just go back to our actual ship designs and we'll have a look. So we'll just start to set these up now. So we'll just go back to the roll. So all we're using is the heavy escort. We've got 32 of those, and we've got the frigate, 45 of those. And then the other one that we are using is the, where is it? The, God, I can't even see it there. Troop transport down the bottom there. We've got 14 of those. So they're the ships we need to probably really have a good look at. So if we have a look at the Shakwiri 2, which is our heavy escort, if we just go into the edit, we can't actually go and change things, but we can just analyze what this thing has actually got. So we've got like a fairly good attack there with 2 different weapon mounts. Actually, if I go up into new, add new, and I'll just click on the roll. If we just go to heavy escort, this one's got 3 weapons. Patrol escort's only got 2. The normal escort's only got 2 as well. So the heavy escort's going to be the one that we probably need to go with. So we'll just have a quick look at that one. So we'll just manually go into the design. So we just want to see what's available on the ship, and then we'll go back and sort of upgrade the other one. So we've got a 180 degree, but then only a 90 degree at the front there. At the top, we'll have a look at as well at the technology to sort of see what we have that's unique. 3 engines at the back. Just cancel that one. The frigate, add new frigate. 4 weapons. It does have 1 large hangar bay as well. Just auto-generate and then have a bit of a look and see what it does actually add. So we've got a 180 degree at the back. So then at the front through here we've got the 180 degrees, which can all fire at the front. Very similar sort of layout in terms of the of what can actually happen through there. Did it bother? No, it left that one empty, which sort of is now one of these things where we could end up with mini carriers. This is one of the benefits of using the Gizarians, is to actually allow them to have mini carriers with their frigates. So yeah, so we've got different things we can do there. The warp bubble generator, that's all we've got at this stage. We're really not very powerful at this point in time at all. Just go and cancel that one off. So then the troop transport, if we have a quick look at this one as well. If we just go and edit this one, we're not going to have too much we can then go and do. We do actually have a weapon, a 360 weapon mount there, which is, we've got a buckler at the back. We've got 2 360s. But this is mainly just for sort of transporting things around. Yeah, assault pods, troop compartments. So it's mainly a troop transport. So that's not really all that helpful. I'll just go and cancel that one. So we now need to think about what we end up doing. Let's have a quick look to see the Gizarians themselves. Let's get the game concepts and then go to the alien races and Gizarians. And so what we're looking for is that what benefits we have. So we sort of are terrible at research and diplomacy, but this is the special features. 25% increased chance of tech boosts when salvaging or retiring a ship with advanced tech. Now we've sort of left it probably too late to really make good use of that. We may still be able to do it though, because that really is the key to playing as the Gizarians, to sort of getting ahead, is to salvage ships. Yep. So additional tech boost when completely retiring an advanced ship. So the more advanced ships we can find, and which means the pirate ships, the better off we're going to be. So we're going to need to target the pirates, and we do have a couple of pirate locations that are relatively close, which we may need to target them actually to be able to do this one. The scouring, so choice to scour a newly conquered enemy colony. Scouring, yeah, we're not really close to doing that one. Rivalries, yeah, we see them come up every so often. Breeding world, to provide a bonus to the Gizarian population growth. Yeah, we won't repeat that one. Tribal conflict, swarm command. We've got the different leader traits. We start off with missiles, maneuvering. We've got unique tech as well. So we have the hive hangers. These are really, really cool, like with allowing us to do different things. So we may sort of have a look at this as well. The hex armor will come. Just allow tech that sort of, because these are replacing it. Need to build the most military ships in the galaxy, have the most colonies in the galaxy, spend the most time at war in the galaxies, capture the most enemy ships, or most ships and bases in the galaxy. That's all okay. Infantry is okay. They're not great. We don't really like anyone, including the Boscara. So even other Gizarians, we don't even like them. I just wish this was just one big long list. We really don't like anyone. So we need to sort of work on our own. What we'll do is we'll then go back out. So we need to be taking over enemy ships. So let's go and redesign the frigates we're sort of using at the moment. I think I'll actually set everything up for taking over ships. So we'll including our fleets. So if we just go back and have a look, we'll start with the frigate. That's our base ship really. So we're just going to go and I'm just going to click on upgrade. This will then change this from automatic to manual, which means that we'll then be in complete control. So what do we got? Let's have a look and see what we've got. We've got 10 extra that we can go and place on top of this one. Hull size 150. At the moment, yeah, everything is good with energy. 74 sprint speed is actually slightly above average, I think, at this time of the game. So I'm happy enough with that one. And we've got 3 engines on it, which is a fair amount. If I got rid of one of them, down to 60. It does give us a lot more space on it though. It gives me 30. Let's go to the weaponry. So we've got the buckler repeating blaster, which is only size 10. I'm going to ditch that. That's at the back of the ship. So we're going to ditch that one. The concussion missile is more for a standoff weapon, so long range. I'm going to ditch that as well. I'm going to get rid of all the weaponry. 2 armor and one shield is actually okay. I'm not going to worry about putting the anything into that bottom in through there. Short range sensor and swarm targeting is fine as well down the bottom there. That works out well for this grouping. Crew systems, fission, fuel. I don't have a lot I can do. I've got the 2 reactors. All I can really play with here is fuel cells. To put an assault pod on. Now, what does that do for our fuel range? Only 100 M. So they could become pretty short range. I think I'm going to have to go that way, but that then does actually allow us... yeah, we're a long way off here. Oh, that's because we haven't got weaponry on. Right, let's go. We've got 3 that are medium size as well. Did you enable the Shakturi Scourge? Yes, I did. So I'll just get my sound up a little bit. So, all right, let's go and add in the actual what we can then go and do through here. One thing we're going to be needing to do is put an iron cannon on. So I'm going to go and throw that in the middle area. So I'll put an iron cannon there just for disabling. And then we've got the, I really want to have like the, in terms of being able to stop things, I'm going to put in, actually what I should do here is to sort by latest per category and family, and then bay type category and family. And just go back down, and that way we can just get the, I do prefer to get the longer range Sentinel multi-beam. I'll put that one at the back. So that's now two of the areas built at the back of the ship. So we've now got two medium mounts at the front. Now the torpedoes. Yeah, this one here. The shield, it's terrible against shielding, but it does bypass armor. I think we just go back. Railguns are sort of the opposite. Railguns are the have got like a shield bypass, but not good against armor. So they bypass shielding. Medium Thuan beam is size 28. This is pretty stock standard. I'll just go and throw them on board and just see. Does that? Yeah, that still gives us. We've still got a bit of space there. 19 with that loadout. What else can we do? Can't quite get the small hive hanger, which would be nice to get. Well, I might as well go and grab the engine back again. And that takes me one over, which I'm going to have to now ditch this, and unless we go with something smaller, as a the railgun's 26, the Thuan beam's 28. They're 30. But if I will go back to the buckler, which is only size 10, that then takes me right to the limits with what we then end up having. So it's not going to be great at protecting itself, but it's going to be okay. And we will then have the assault pod. So that's going to be important for us to take over enemy ships, because we really need to be doing that to get the technology. So this has now become a major factor for us to be able to operate. We're okay with everything else that's there. That all works pretty well, actually. So that's, we'll just call this one the just the frigate, the assault frigate maybe. So knowing what the benefits are of each actual sort of faction are important. So knowing that this one benefits by being able to assault and take over ships is really makes a big difference with the playing as the Gizarians. But the AI doesn't sort of really think that one through. We're going to go to engagement range, same system, aggressive, 2050 is how we're going to then move away. Everything else is looking good there. The in terms of the upgrade, it's going to go to the latest design for the hull. So whatever the frigate hull is, we'll just go that way. So we'll now save and exit. So the assault frigate is now done. We'll just go to the heavy escort and just only really work on that one through there. So we're just going to go upgrade there. So again, we've got two Maxos blasters and a buckler repeating. We've only got the short range sensor array. Now I'm going to ditch that. I'm going to pop in the swarm targeting array here. So that means that these guys really do need to be at least with one other type of ship, so never really on their own, which is fine. So the swarm targeting, what that does is it allows it gives a targeting of plus 15%, but it also gives extra targeting per fleet ship of plus 1%. So the more ships with this, the better. So this one does actually sort of allow bigger fleets will then be rewarded. So we'll end up with a lot of these. One armor, one of those, 3 engines. We're traveling at 74, same as the other ships, so that actually works out fairly well. We'll ditch a fuel cell as well, I think. If I ditch that one there, And again, just put on an assault. And what have we got in our fuel range? 105, that's okay. And then just the weaponry. So we've only got front-facing weaponry. We're not really doing well against small craft. So I probably really do need to place a sentinel beam here at the front. Oh, it's not great, is it? I think I'll place one on the side just to do it this way. We'll go with more of the iron cannons in the front there, just to try to disable ships, and then we'll just use another Thuan beam at the back. So we'll go with that loadout. So iron cannon, Thuan beam, and sentinel multi-beam. So that way at least we're going to be able to protect the ships using this particular ship itself. Thuan beams, yep, that's all good. How are we going? I've still got a lot of space on this ship, but there's nothing else I can really throw on it. So we're sort of now done. There's nothing else we can really do. We're down to 68, but that's okay. All right, so that all works, I think. Aggressive, 2050. That's designed for the hull, so it's just going to be the heavy escort hull, and we'll just call this one the heavy escort. Right, so that's now going to be that one. We'll save and exit that one. So they're now both set to manual. I won't worry about the troop transports at this stage. I'll just leave them because we're going to be trying to take over the enemy ships with those two designs. Now we'll go back to the fleet templates and start to work our way through here. So we've got the attack fleets. So they've actually sort of now got like a whole lot of different ones in through here. They've got different ship counts with these attack fleets for escorts. Oh, sorry, that's in the total. That's not the ones we currently have. All right, so what are we using? That's the other thing. As we just come through each one of these. Defense fleet. That will just be defense fleets, I think. Raiding fleet. Invasion fleet. Attack fleet. So we've got one attack fleet, so we might start there with our templates. So just go and edit this one. Now we're not going to worry about, we've got 4 of the fuel tankers. Let's get that down to 3. We'll get rid of the carrier, the battleship, the cruiser, the destroyer. We've got 18 frigates. And we want to put in some escorts as well. Let's go heavy escorts. I'll go 8 and 10 there. I think I'll just do it that way with these. 100th Monk is saying, did you ever try using troop transports in your fleet to help with captures? Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea, but I think I'm going to have enough with the assault pods on these to be able to then go and do it anyway. So I'll just get it down to a reasonable sort of size. So there'll still be 18 ships, but we'll get less frigates, more escorts. So we'll reform some of the fleets. We'll end up with we'll sort of change this fleet into maybe 2 fleets. So that one's done. The fleet engagement range, I'm just going to go with something like maybe 50M. That's okay. Very tight is fine. I'll edit this one as well. 50M range there is, again, just because we don't have the range on these ships anymore. So we've got cruisers, we don't want that. Destroyers, we do want to have frigates and escorts. So with the defense fleets, I'll just move these up a little bit so we end up with more of those. This will be the heavy escort, and then the latest one for that one for the frigates. Just go that way for those. That'll do. And then we did actually have invasion fleets, which I'll leave that one where that is at this stage, and then the raiding force. Destroyers can then go. 5-3, again, I'm happy enough with that one. We'll just make sure that it is the heavy escort, and that one's fine as well. Actually, I'll just go to the frigate hull. There we go. Oh, sorry, I meant to also change this. So that to be raid, enable the roles in the ship never up, down, or graded. Yeah, so that's okay. Trim access ship disabled. So I want to be able to overbuild a fleet. Again, this will be actually the 40% fuel range is actually not too bad. I might keep that actually there. Yeah, let's leave that one where that is. All right, so that's actually now done. That'll do us, I think, in terms of what we've got. That'll do us. So we've got the... So these are sort of operating from different locations around the place. So we'll just go through each of the actual fleets and just double check. So if we go to the second fleet, this is going to be one where we can actually then go and top up the ship. So building new ships. So 8 escorts, remove ships from to match the template, 8 frigates and 2 fuel tankers. So I will actually go and do that, I think. So we'll actually do the top up, which will then build the others, but then remove these other frigates. And so I can then go to yet another fleet. So I'm going to create another fleet to, and I may need to go and really find pirate locations just so we can sort of try to milk the pirate locations. And I know that there's one close to our home system, so we may have to stop paying them as well. But we'll just get everything established first. So second fleet is moving to the mining station. That one's okay. And they've already got their preset things, which is going to be okay as well. I can tell them to come back and retrofit. There's already a long queue there. Actually, yeah, it's going to be with the building. Let's go to each of the actual fleets. So first Defence Force, and again, building new ships. 1 new escort for these. I'll come back for that. I'll just tell them to go and retrofit. 3rd Defence Force. Just go retrofit. 5th. And we'll top up with the extra ships that they require. 7th Strike Force, yeah, retrofit. The Invasion Fleet, there are some retrofitting to be done there as well. The second fleet, we do need to get this one retrofitting as well, so we'll just get everything to retrofit, then we'll go after the pirates once we sort of are on top of these things. You can see there the fuel range now has come way down. It's hardly viable at all, but that's what we sort of have to do at this early stage. So eventually what we'll do, once we sort of capture as many ships as we possibly can, we'll then sort of change back and get rid of the assault pods and put more fuel pods back on. But we'll sort of let them go. Now we've got the go back to ships again. So ships not in a fleet. There's a hell of a lot of them. But we've got heaps of them. So I'm going to go and start to build at least one more major fleet. So if we go to the attack fleet, form new attack fleet from existing ships at, and I'll just do this one at Anthfar 1 spaceport. And so we end up with another fleet. So this one is the 8th fleet. I'll just start to, so this is the 8th fleet there. I'll just go Control 8. So I'll just number all of these different fleets. Let's just go back through them all. So first defense, we control group number 1. 3rd is 3. 5 is 5. 6. 7th. 4th is the invasion fleet. So that way I can just use the keyboard shortcuts in the second through there. So we've got now like a whole lot of different ships are now sort of being built. So I can sort of I can just go and, if I'm just going to throw that one up, we can then sort of unwind those. Well, let's go and wait for these to all be built. Okay, the Akdarians have invaded and taken over another volcanic colony back out through here. So the Akdarians will become a bit of a threat to us at some point. Yeah, they're taking over other planets as well. So that war is going to rage on for quite some time. Teekans, where do we find them? Back over here. So they're going to be an enemy. Ultimately. Now with the other fleets, now we've got, again, if we just go back to ships not in a fleet, all these little escorts. I'll just go and top these up. This one's retrofitting. This is a heavy escort. All the different it's retrofitting. Just going to be getting more and more of these. Let's have a quick look and see what we've got. So if we go back to the first doesn't need any more ships now, but they do need to retrofit. Second is now building up the ships, which is good. Again, just go and tell them to go and retrofit. The third is fine. The fourth is fine. The fifth, I'm now looking at just at this one here, just with the topping up. The seventh, the eighth does require remove ships to match template, building two new frigates. So we don't actually have any frigates that we can pop in there. Let's pop that one there for now. Okay, we've encountered a new faction over here, a new Boscaran faction. Let's see how we go. Once we get all these retrofits done, we'll then be able to start to go off and do different things. So the second, eventually we'll get this our boarding assault strength once these ships have all been retrofitted. We didn't need to change too much about the way that we're heading with this game. Decline that. Just going to grab myself a drink of water, be right back. Okay, so Nassian is saying, so I came from playing Stellaris, I'm interested in this game. Would you say that space combat is like Stellaris, or is it more real-time, say something like Sins 2? It's more like Sins in that sort of sense. It's essentially the big difference between this and Stellaris, and this and nearly every other Space 4X, is that this is a simulation game at its core, whereas the other games are more board gamey sort of style, where there's abstraction. Like every single resource has to be at the location. So when we have a look at it, we're looking at sort of like at a big distance and through this other side at this point in time. But as we go through, like you'll see that there's like a big collection of ships that are starting to now come into here. And so the ships themselves are, like there's no abstraction. These are the actual ships. So the individual ships, that's a heavy escort, which is sitting here. It's part of the 6th Defence Force, and so when I move it, like all of the loadout of the weaponry, like its fields of fire, all have bearings. So it's the level of detail is like so much deeper than anything else. You can see here comes another fleet. This is the 8th Fleet, which is coming in. That's the flagship of the 8th Fleet. You can just see by the symbol there. And so these are coming in. They've got no mission. But if we have a look at the spaceport is currently building up all of the different ships that are required for these fleets. And then there will be retrofits as well. So this is like the 5th Defence Force. So if I go and grab that little group, this is like a small fleet of ships, but every single ship has got its own, essentially its own, it is real time. And so it's pausable, active. You can do tactical pause. It's not overwhelming, but for this ship, for these to be able to be building where they are, you can see there's a big long construction queue. Most of these are being retrofitted, I think. If you have a look at the 5th, it's retrofitting at Athfar 1. So this is Athfar 1, the actual planet itself. There's 22 resource shortages, so we can sort of have a look through and see what they're short on. Anything that's red in this construction resources means that they've got a problem with building it. But everything is good there. So we've actually got enough resources here on the planet to build what we have to build. It's only the luxury resources that they're now asking for. But what that means is that because it's a simulation game, all of these resources, probably the easiest way to show this is, let's go back to the 5th again. The 5th is just made up of heavy escorts and frigates. If we go to the frigate and look at the frigate design, so this is the actual design of the, which one is this one? I forget which design this one actually is. Thuan Beam. Yeah, this is actually one of our new ones. This is one of the ones that we had created with the assault pods and things. So all of the actual resources, so you can design the ships as long as you're sort of putting them in the right locations. You've got your internals, your engines, your weaponry, your defences and your sensors. And so you've got a lot of control over what you then go and build on the actual ships. The fields of fire are really important in terms of how they attack. That then leads to all their stats for the ship as you sort of put them together. So you can see there, it's got like you've got to have like a crew capacity, like we're going to have crew systems, for example. All these different things sort of make so that it's much more detailed than pretty much any other space game, to be honest. You get different bonuses based on the hull type that you've got. You get different bonuses. This is the complete bonuses based on what we've been building through here. We then actually have, we've got reactors. So we've got 2 fission reactors. What these do is these have to supply, when we're in impulse, this is actually how we need to have like weapons, shields, engines, and then sort of static use. So if we end up outside of reactor, outside of energy, then we've got problems. But both reactors, if we lose one reactor, we can still actually operate impulse. But for hyperdrive, the hyperdrive would actually fail a lot. Like we'd end up with a slow-moving ship through hyperspace. At the moment, that's actually fine. Both reactors cover the needs of the hyperdrive. All of the engines and stuff and the weight of the ship then dictate how fast it can then move. The important one for us is sprint mode, which is which uses a fair bit of energy per turn, like in impulse. But that there is how fast we move when we're trying to catch up with an enemy ship. So this all is important. The turning rates, acceleration as well. All of these things actually have a bearing in the combat, because the combat is real time. So it's very, very cool. Then we actually have the different weapons that we've actually put on there, sort of what they can then go and do. We have put on assault pods, so we can have we can now try to board enemy ships. That's a big part of the strategy we're going to be using. Shields and armor, and then it goes down every single component you'll see there at the top. This one uses 12 krypton for the Thuan beams. The iron cannons use 6 caprica and 3 emerald crystals. All of these resources to build one ship, we need 128 tons of steel, 122 tons of polymer, carbonite, krypton, silicon. This is the recipe required to build this particular ship. And so when we have a look at the ships that are being constructed in here, all of those ships that are there need to have the resources on hand to be able to build them. You can see there that they're moving down or moving up, depending on whether there's freighters coming in. You don't control the freighters, but you can control as much or a little as you like. So we played the game for 20 years where we didn't do anything at all, where the AI ran the whole lot, and it did a pretty good job actually in this case. But these are all the various resources available for the ships to then be constructed and built. And so this big long list of things is just awaiting construction. And so we have even in here we have things, for example, like the spaceport itself has also got its own loadout, and it's got only one construction yard. It's got two hangars. Excuse me, but a lot of other sort of weaponry. So this has mainly got protection rather than construction yards. But so we could actually change that design if we wanted to have even more construction and actually double the output. Also, the planet itself will also construct from the actual planet itself. Now they share the resources between these two here, but then it's actually trying to construct ships from the actual planet's surface as well. And so if we have a look at these different ships, the ship itself, if I double click it, we'll then sort of go to that particular ship. So we've got a ship over here which is currently probably being retrofitted, I would guess. It's becoming an assault frigate. It's now just moved off. It's just finished its construction. So it's now moving back to, actually it's the second fleet. So the second fleet is assembling over here, I'm thinking. If we just, this looks like the second fleet. So the second fleet is now getting ready, but it's really cool the way it sort of does work. So it's much, much more detailed, but it's also, fairly controllable. So what I'm doing is the fleets that I'm using, like the second fleet is actually stationed from over here. This is its home base. So, but I will move that off to do something different at some point. I'm not sure what just yet. We need to locate where the pirates actually are and then sort of start to go after them. But we need to just keep on waiting for all of these retrofits to happen. So you can see there that this first defence force is moving back in for retrofitting. Each of the actual, this is a strike force, which should be operating from back over here in the Sagittarius system. Actually, there's a pirate faction there, the Bunta system. I think we're paying them off. That's another pirate group there. I'll have to think about what I do with the pirates. If I can find another one that's fairly close, I think we'll then just pick on them and try to sort of capture their ships. But the actual overall, it's so much more detailed than Stellaris. Stellaris is much more about abstraction, pooling of resources, things like that. Whereas this one, you have to have at each planet, like this planet here, for example, is a smaller planet. Like this is one that we control. This is a forest planet. It's also got ships are being built at this particular one. Actually, this one's now building nothing. The shortages here, you can see there that the fuel, Caslon fuel, is down. Caprica, it does have it, but it's actually short on what it needs to be able to go and build, but everything else is pretty good there. If I go to one of the other newish planets, they're going to be very, very short of resources. So this one here, for example, if we have a look and see the moon that we've colonized this one, or the AI colonized this one for us, and you can see there that they're trying to, they're building troops, and then troops are coming to be picked up, but their resource shortages into here, again, hardly any fuel. It also controls, the AI controls how much the planet actually wants. You can override any of this. Kaizen crystals we don't have any of. Silicon we're low. Steel we're low. And so what will happen here is that this planet, which is just really a new planet, there'll be different ships coming in to supply it. If we go and zoom out a little bit, we should then see, like that's a freighter there, for example. Actually, that's transporting cargo from a mining station back to the home base. We don't actually have control. Here comes transporting cargo back to Skiso, which is that particular moon. And so it's bringing opals. So these are two luxuries along with Caslon. So it's bringing a supply of fuel to that particular planet. So we will fly in. Again, it's just the game just does all that for you, but you have to physically take it to locations. So this is now going to sit back, and we'll see it like it will actually then offload its goods at the planet. So it's incredibly detailed, but it's also got amazing automation. So it's now moving in. There we go, it's now offloading. So these are now being offloaded from the ship. That's little transports going to the actual, to the planet. And so these are now all being offloaded. Now we do actually have these different things. Playing as the Gizarians, this is actually a rivalry that we actually have. So two of our spies want to sort of battle it out. So the rivalry is spun out of control. Must select a winner in the power struggle. The winner will gain an extra skill level and a positive trait. Let's go and see who these guys actually are. So we have, this is Qatar and Kintu. Kintu has got PsyOps is terrible from being a poor speaker. Concealment isn't too bad. And Qatar in through here is actually it's working on concealment. So I think I'll actually ditch this guy here, who even though he's got better concealment, his PsyOps is pretty poor. So we'll allow Qatar to win. That's then going to make the planet unhappy, or the yes, we've got Athfar 1 has actually the overall empire is now sad that those guys have had their fight, but that's just one of the Gizarene events that comes up. So anyway, that's still just getting rid of all of its supply, and so that little we don't control the private sector. So this light freighter is just getting rid of all of this. And it will then just go off and do its own thing again. Oh, here we go. We've discovered a new engine research location, but the Boskarans have got this one already. Where's that? Okay, it's way deep inside their territory. We need research stations. Anyway, that's just one little example of just how detailed this game is. It's one that you don't have to know, but it's sort of funny. Like it's fun to almost just sort of wait and see. Now, let's have a look at this one here. We've actually got an attack coming in. So what's happening here is this pirate ship has, and this is a pirate faction, the Black Dagger Army, which is actually a Harkonish pirate faction. And so they'll often have specific Harkonish things on their ships. Now, this is exactly the sort of ship that we need to be capturing. And so we've got different elements that are coming in. One of our resort bases is actually attacking it as well, but so is the third defense force. If I look at the third, they're still trying to retrofit at Vanax 1. So this will be Vanax 1 here. So Vanax 1 is now Vanax 1. Yeah, we do actually have a spaceport. That's okay. So what I need to tell them to do is that they do actually have boarding assault strength, but if I just go and tell them to attack, so with the third defense force. This one, it did say it was jumping, so I'm just going to go in and do an attack. And so in this case, all the ships in this fleet will now try to attack this one. It's jumping away. We can see everything going on with this particular one. There is some iron damage that we've already done to it. One of its engines has been disabled, and one of its sensors has been disabled. So the actual pirate ship itself, one Acceleros engine down, and one short-range sensor array is down as well. It does have a railgun. This is only a smallish ship, actually. But again, I would love to be capturing these. So I'm just going to go and unpause. If we can somehow disable it, what we're looking for is to essentially stop it from jumping. And to stop it from jumping, what our ships need to do, and you can see there, we're actually now attacking it with the Thuon beams. So this is a frigate, and so the frigate is now attacking this particular ship. It's trying to go back and refuel at its home base, even though it's got a fair bit of fuel on there. That's actually where it's wanting to head to. I'm not sure which direction it's going to go, but we may be able to sort of do enough damage to this to stop it. The iron damage is coming from, if we have a look at our ships, we've got like an iron cannon. This one just does disabling, and if we sort of hover over, I don't think I can sort of show this, but on the right hand side we've got iron damage for engines, hyperdrive, sensors, shields and weapons. What we need to do is we need to disable the hyperdrive to keep it in this system, and so to do that what we end up having is the hyperdrive is the Jerix hyperdrive. So if we can disable that one with an iron cannon shot, we're going to stop it from jumping. Similarly, it's got the same sort of deal. It's got 2 reactors on board, just fission reactors, and these I would need to just disable both reactors to stop it from jumping. So that's the other thing we can do to stop it. So we'll just go and, or we can sort of get rid of crew and stuff like that as well. Another iron cannon just went in. So this is more iron cannon shots, but yeah, we disabled one of their weapons. The disabling when we do this is going to, like this is only for 7 seconds. That railgun has been disabled. 5 seconds for that one through there. 26 seconds for that one. They've disabled. One of the armors has now been taking damage. So we're sort of breaking through the armor, and through the shielding as well. I don't think we're going to be able to stop it. It's firing at us, and it's gone. So it's actually jumped. So it's jumped out of the system. And again, we'll just see if I can find... yeah, we've got the Savage Star Prowlers and the Bunta Bandits. I'm going to probably have to pick on this one here, even though it's one of the Gizarian pirate factions. There's no other pirate factions close other than this one over here. So that's going to ultimately, once we actually finish off all of the retrofits, that's what we'll need to do. So we need to have big enough fleets to be able to then go in and disable the ships and then take them over. New escort's been completed. So now, can you dry out completely of resources? Absolutely. What we've done with this game is to we let the game play for 20 years before we took over, and so and this is what we've done this time. So we've actually inherited like an AI controlled civilization essentially, and we're now just taking that civilization over ourselves. But in the first one that we did, because this is the second start today, the first start, they ran out of... I set it up so that we were in a difficult situation with resources, and in that case we actually ran out of a critical resource, and there was no way to come back from that. So so yes, we were down to minimal numbers of this particular resource, which is a problem. But the game again has got like different helpers all the way through. Like if I just get rid of diplomacy for a second, if I go to like the actual resources themselves, and so the resources are split between fuel and construction. I also then have luxury resources. Luxury resources sort of add to the development of planets. You can see there the flow of different things. If I just go back to the fuel and construction resources, what these do is they then actually have the overall flow coming in from the different mining stations. So we can sort of see where they're all, and most things are going to go to the capital at the Anthfar system. But if I then go to, for example, fuel is a really critical resource. So if I go to Caslon, the Caslon supply down through here, I can then see exactly, I can see all the locations that have Caslon in them that we're aware of and that we've discovered so far. So I can sort of zoom in and have a bit of a look to see, you know, what's this planet got? We do actually have a mining station here that has been built, and so it's mining Caslon from this particular world, and so and the mining rate for the Caslon is 33%. So that's okay. It's not great. 100% is the best, but typically about 70% is a good system. This one must have only just been built very recently, because we're not seeing a flow. Back from here, we start to sort of see a flow of freighters, essentially, that are coming back in. This one is transporting cargo from the Asterisk mining station. If we have a look at at which mining station this one actually is, this is the Rel Tier 5 mining station. And so this one does have like a fair bit of Caslon. It's got other resources that are on this particular planet. So we've got Argon and Caslon. And so there will be some freighters that will then sort of appear. This one is going from, this one here is coming back with Caslon and Argon from that mining station. So the mining stations have to be built at each location. Then the freighters come in. So you can sort of see the flow of it. But if they do run out, like you'll sort of see it through here, you can see that this one here is, we have a higher demand than what we've got supply at the moment, even though we've got a lot of Caslon. It's not really a problem for us, but that is a potential issue. But there's lots of little tools like that just to sort of help you analyse fairly quickly. Just let it continue on. So you can dry out, but the game also has, and this, I don't know why it didn't work in the last one. If I go back into resources, I've also got, the main way of doing it is to set up these mining stations and have them all flow in, and they use the freighter network for that, and that's a private thing. We don't have any control over that one. But there's also mining ships, and the mining ships will then go off. You can see these are individual mining ships sort of heading off to do different things, and they actually just go directly to a mining location, do their mining, and come straight back to a planet. So this one is mining a moon called Ericadea in the Belinus system, and it's going to offload at again, I don't need to know that it's doing that as long as I don't have a problem. I've got no control over these ships, by the way. These just do their own thing. And so these are separate to the freighter network. So these are very specific. They look for very specific resources and then go and mine them. They're sort of almost like prospecting type ships. Whereas the freighter network, if I go back into here and then have a look at the freighters, these are all the various freighters that we have. And there are an awful lot of them. You can see. There's just heaps and heaps. So, and with that selected, it's now highlighting all of the freighters moving in from different locations. So a lot of these, you can see that this is obviously an important location for us. And with a lot of freighters now moving in, transporting cargo from different locations over here back to the home world. But it's an incredibly deep game. I'll just deselect that one. And you can turn off, all sorts of different things. The automation in the game. This is the actual automation. So we've got most things where it's suggesting things to us. Some things fully automated. Some things manual, completely manual. But there's just area after area for automation. And so you've got it's incredibly detailed in terms of what you can do. It looks overwhelming, but it actually doesn't have to be. I mean, we played it for 20 years of game time where we didn't lift a single finger, so it's actually very, very cool. Great game. It should really be one of the Insta classics of Space 4X, because no other game does this one. We've got invasions over through here, which we're hearing this through the news network. Essentially, they keep on expanding out through this other side. Actually, guys, looking at the time, I'm going to have to start to make a move. So Martin's saying, hey, Daz, if I may ask, what is your favourite 4X game? Okay, it's for me, as soon as anyone asks that question, it's Age of Wonders 4. But I've got to say, I love this game. I love Gladius as well, Warhammer Gladius. There's a lot that sort of are in around that top area, but my go-to, just because I've been playing that series for so long, is Age of Wonders, the Age of Wonders series. So it's anyway. I hope that helps with. I know it's like, because people come into these games with from being used to other 4Xs and stuff like that, Space 4Xs in particular, and this one just plays so differently, and it actually does people's head-ins when they start to play the game, because they want to expand quickly. Like in this case, the AI expanded into these two locations, but these are a drain on my economy. If I go into the colonies, you'll see that it's actually costing me money. So the bigger off I get, here we go. We've got another pirate faction up here. This is good for us because we'll be able to start to capture ships, but we need to find the ships first. But it's a game that I find it quite relaxing to play, even though it looks like incredible detail. It's one of these things where you can just focus on one little area. You can automate everything in the game, like it's really not sort of too much of a trouble. Offers us protection, decline. Now they're offering a non-aggression treaty. I'm going to accept that treaty. I'm going to stay friends with them and then go back and be negative with the other. But I need to make sure that all my fleets are ready. So if I just go back through, this one here is no longer needing to retrofit, so it's now moving back out to its position back out here. So it's on automatic at the moment. Assign mission. Just allow that to happen. So that was the 5th. That's now moving off to do some targeting. So it's attacking looks like a pirate ship out there. I'm not going to worry about too much of it until we've actually got everything set up. The 2nd is moving back to the Patient 5 mining station, back over through here. Now I probably want to I'll keep that one where that is, I think, at this stage. Actually, don't know, the fuel here is pretty bad on this, like with all of these different ships. Yes, that station there, that's an unusual station, and it's been set to raid. I'm going to set this one to defend. We need to find where things are actually going with the fleets. Let's go to Seymour. There's a mining station at Pasian. I'm not sure if that's how you just. It's not Passion. not spelled correctly for that one, but this here is a Caslon mining station, heaps and heaps of fuel. So that's why it wants to have that as its home base, because it wants to use that to do what it's doing. The third fleet is now also ready to go. They are set up nowhere. I'm just going to set these ones up to be to defend. And actually they're defending back at Vernex. That's actually okay. The fourth is set for invasion. I'm just going to set that one back to manual. And I'll just leave that one alone. This is a whole lot of troop transports. The fifth invasion, fifth fleet in through here is set for defend, which is fine. Yep, so there's still lots and lots of stuff happening back through there. Okay. The sixth needs to retrofit. So they're still retrofitting, so they're still going through the process of building up. And then they're going to be defending back out this way, which is actually not too bad. The seventh is the is retrofitting at Nthfar 1. Again, everything is, there's a bit of, actually the eighth is now ready to go. There is a little bit of problem there where they're still under construction. I'm just going to do and tell them to retrofit as well. So I'll get them to retrofit. These have an attack role. I'm going to put them into a defend role. I'm going to put them into a defend role from Vernex. So what I need to do here is I need to find, well, I need to be close-ish to this location here. I'll just go to the Vernex and I'm just going to go and tell it that its home base is now this particular location. That then sets up that automatic area from there, which includes this pirate faction. Okay, we've lost contact with one of our ships in the Martiga system. Take me to the location. And so the first time, this is actually, I know what this one is, that we've lost that, that's our ship that we just happened to lose. But I will actually go back in and try to rebuild this one now. So we lose one constructor, I think. So I'll just dismiss that one and go back into exploration. Yeah, no, we're already trying to fix that particular station up. The reason I want that station is so I can get long-range scanners back out in this area of space. So just keep them sort of coming back through. Yeah, so Orangutan saying, yeah, just started watching the VOD from the start. The pop-ups happened because you didn't click the accept. Yes, I know. We found that out the second time around. So yeah, we corrected it the second time. User error. Now the invasion fleet is on auto, on manual basically, so it's not going to do anything, but we'll just leave it sort of hovering around. We don't actually have any reason for the invasion fleet. Sorry, I'm on pause. But I do have to get going, guys, so I'm actually going to have to leave it here for this week. So thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'll be playing tomorrow. I know I've got a few more games that are releasing this week. And there's a lot of games in the pipeline as well coming up over the next weeks and over the next month actually. So a lot of new stuff and a lot of new content there should be. Anyway, so anyway, I'll catch you guys tomorrow if you're around. Thanks for watching.